welcome back to Miss Ocasio Reads. I'm Miss Ocasio and I'm so excited to read with you today. Have you ever told a fib because you were afraid to tell the truth? Well, it's always better to tell the truth than to lie. Today we'll read a story about a friend who swallowed her tooth so she couldn't put it under her pillow for the tooth fairy, and instead she snuck something else under the pillow to trick the tooth fairy. But first, it worked!
The Tooth Fairy's Tummy Ache, written by Lori Orlinsky, illustrated by Vanessa Alexandri. You see, it happened when I was eating a juicy red apple for snack. I was chewing and chomping when suddenly I bit down and heard a crack. My first tooth was finally out. All it took was something yummy. But when I went to collect it from my mouth, I realized it had landed in my tummy. This wasn't the plan I had thought of in my head. I had to think of something fast before I went to bed. I searched high and low for something tiny and white, even though what I was doing wasn't really right. The tooth fairy wouldn't visit if she didn't have a tooth to take, so I put a kernel of popcorn under my pillow as a replacement fake. This child's tooth feels a little strange and doesn't look quite right, but I'll trade it for a silver dollar, hop on my toothbrush, and fly out of sight. Back to the workshop I go to add this tooth to my collection. But this one looks rotten upon further inspection. It's too round to string and too tiny to glue. What can I do with this tooth? I don't have a clue. I call my fairy friends who come over skipping and hopping. But when they get close to the tooth, all of a sudden it starts popping. Pop, 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 pop. Quickly it spreads from the floor to the ceiling. I know I should try to stop it, but it's hunger that I'm feeling. There's nothing left to do, but I say, ah, and open wide. Popcorn rains in my mouth and fills me up inside. A few minutes later, there isn't any mistaking. I feel really yucky because my tummy is aching. So I stay in bed and skip the work I need to do. But what's going to happen when everyone wakes up feeling blue? The grandmas and grandpas would be missing their new dentures. My friends wouldn't have necklaces for their dress-up adventures. The night sky would be without all of its shiniest stars. Tooth fairies wouldn't have flying dust, so they'll have to drive cars. Suddenly, it hit me. I had a hunch. Maybe she lost this tooth while she was having lunch. I go through the window for the second time tonight. I had to explain to this girl the difference between wrong and right. I tap on her shoulder and whisper in her ear, "Lying won't get you anywhere. Do you hear me, my dear? It's best to be honest and always tell the truth. You should have just told me that you swallowed your tooth." She flashes me a smile with a toothless grin, and I feel a new friendship is about to begin. I'll leave you this notepad so you can write me a letter. When you lose your next tooth, hopefully it will work out much better. To Miss Ocasio and friends, honesty is always the best policy. Happy reading! Love, Lori Arlinsky.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's story. Ask your grown-up for help in a description below, finding a fun activity to go along with this story. And remember to always tell the truth and brush and floss before you go to bed. See you next time. Thanks for joining me today for Miss Ocasio Reads. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with your teachers and friends. Subscribe to read more stories with me. Connect with me on social media with a grown-up's help to suggest the next story. And visit Miss Ocasio Meets to get to know your favorite authors. Thanks for watching.